Hi class, this is your video feedback, and I'm going to go through each of these as a first-time user. That means I will not be referring to any of the comments that you have written about it. I'm just looking at usability and how the aesthetics and just basically how user-friendly it is as well. So there are some things I want everybody to check, and that is make sure that you have updated your copyright to 2020 at the bottom of your sites, and go through and make sure that your fonts are consistent style, that they are for the most part consistent in size if it's body copy, for example, that your headers are consistent in the same font and size. These are things that everybody needs to check. The other thing I want everybody to look at, because I won't point it out every time, some of these images and videos will need to be optimized because they're too big. They will be on your side, on your browser, because they're already stored on your cache, but they won't necessarily load quickly on someone else's, and so they would have to be optimized and sized. The other thing is make sure that you are placing everything in a grid, that is, that everything is aligned and that they have the same amount of spacing. So I put that up front. In case you're not looking at everybody's, I hope you do. You will learn more, and then apply that to yours, all right? All right, so let's jump in. One of the things we want to be careful of, this is super cute. One of the things we want to be super cautious of is how much scrolling and clicking we're doing. We want to eliminate as much scrolling and clicking as possible. So that would mean that this would probably come up a little bit. You probably don't need this. The word is, so you could probably get a little bit of space there. If it's childlike, it's okay, I guess, to have an outline, but typically you guys want to avoid letters that you outline. All right. Okay. Good. I like that you have your logo there. That's awesome. Okay, so right now I'm looking for some navigation. I guess we have a reel here, but I want to see something that says it's about, about you. I think you need a little bit on your history, like your education, your skill sets that are broken down, All right, so that's what I'm saying about this. I'm not sure. I'm not getting into the site necessarily. Okay, so a few more pages there. Okay, what happened? I hit something. Okay, stay uplifted. Let's make sure you've got this on the home page. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, update this. And this, font actually matches your kitten. Okay. Okay. That's a very interesting and specific background. Oftentimes we'll see, when I was 3, I picked up the camera. When I was 4, and this is really very specific, and I like that. How it made you feel. I like that. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. Okay. All right. So you want to be sure that these are all that you have rights to all of this work. Okay. Super important. If so, awesome. If not, you'll have to create your own. Good. And you're going to your Twitch and everything. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, I mean, you've got that friendly kid look, so I guess you can use this way. with the outline, but check out some others and just see, make sure that that's what you want. All right, good job. Okay, this is going to your personal or your professional sites. That's good, and hopefully you only have professional work on your social media, you guys. Okay, good. It's hard to work with these colors sometimes, and not everybody can pull it off. So good job. Mostly aligned. I mean, they're at least consistent in that, you know, but then it doesn't happen here. So in that situation, you might want to make these more consistent, and it's just a matter of having 2 words, 2 lines of text, right? So maybe you find a way to correct that somehow. I mean, I know why it does it, but if you have the opportunity, then that's what you want to think about. Writing headers that can stay on one line so that when they get posted, they're aligned. You know, you got great size font. I think you need some space here. And I like this. It's a good image of you, but I think the background is not really your aesthetic. And for sure, I think it's got a little too much headroom, just a little. So I would look for maybe a different kind of background that's maybe just a gray gradient even, you know. Usually all this in caps is hard to read, but at the size that you have it and it fits the aesthetic, it's really not, but more space here. Try and get an image that, you know, is stopping right here. Okay. Okay. You guys make sure that you download or that you open up the extension language tool for Chrome. It will really help you go through all your work and make sure that there are no typos. Okay, so here. Okay. Feel like you need a little something here. You've got contact. There's a little bit of space here, but it doesn't bother me. But it might be better since you have the submit down here if you can squeeze that up a little bit. Just a little, bring that down right here. But it's looking good. The aesthetic is very strong. And hopefully these are all your professional sites, okay, and not personal sites. Okay. I like it. I wonder if you need space there or not, but it's in the same place. It's all good. Yeah. That's really all I have. Make sure you check all this out. And let's see. So you have your work on there. All right. All right. Good job. You've made good use of this. All right. The logo needs to be cleaner, created in Illustrator, but this is beautiful for this. If it's yours. And I'm not sure you need so much of a drop down so far away. Makes it a little less clear. A little bit of drop would be okay. This is the weird thing about having an image behind. It doesn't always work. It's not bad. But like right here, when it cuts storytelling in half, think about those things. A logo is a little easier. Let's left align this. And I'm not a huge fan of headers of any kind that are italicized. It's not bad. You don't need this here. In fact, at least it doesn't have to say this. It could say something else if you like, just a 1 line or 3 words or something, but we know to select this, so let's not do that. You could have a button that says, you know, more or details. For everybody, remember, if you're a photographer or cinematographer, the work should be yours because you're telling people that that's your skill set. All right. All right. I do like this. It feels good. This black and white. I could see something white up here, like your name. Left align this. Okay, the drop down is covering up content, so that's an issue. All right, if you had a drop down over here, it wouldn't be as big a deal, but here it's a problem. Okay, so if you can do something about this, reduce some of what you're doing, condense it a little bit. Let's see what you have. Okay, left align that. See, we're covering things up, left align. Left align. Again, you want to be ideally your own images that are in your aesthetic, in your brand, your style, that you start collecting those, okay, for your site, because that's a priority. Left align. And this, because it's coming soon, it needs to be disabled. All right. If there's nothing there, we don't have a coming soon. All right. So this, as you can see, is covering up content. That makes it a problem. You resolve it by either reducing the pages, combining, or moving it. Okay. Okay, so we don't need this. And we don't need coming soon. So those will, if this is the only image you have, then take this whole thing out and just have an about me, you know, or about us is fine. But take this out, and instead you can move your services over, and that really where you sent them was your contact. So you've got two things. This is going here. If you meant for it to come here, then just move the anchor. And hopefully everybody has found where you just, in Wix, you simply select the question mark and it will give you all sorts of information. You can ask a question, it will get you in the ballpark, and then sometimes you can scroll all the way down after you get into a topic and they'll have a little video that will quickly demonstrate something for you. All right, I like this. Careful covering faces, everybody. Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing, is we have to scroll a little for that. And it is more time consuming to go through a second page for, you know, navigation. So think about that. If that's the best way to do it, make sure that this is going to your Facebook for the media in the morning. And you've said your creators for content. I guess your content creatives, your media group, so that helps. But now I have to go here to look at projects, make sure you have your work that is showing. Update this date. I do like this page. I like what you've done with this. At least I like the top part. A little space here. The thing I'm not thrilled with is how this duplicates. Okay, I think you need a different image there. And we need to change it to where this is not being cropped off. Okay, we don't want to cut words in half. That includes thumbnails that we have, even though, you know, you click on it maybe and it opens up to the larger that isn't clipped, but even our thumbnails in a gallery, for example, that lead to something, or in a blog, they can't be clipped, okay? So you have to reduce it for those uses, the image that you're using. The text, it's not a high res, and so that's kind of an issue on the film here. The other thing is having lettering and headers over other headers. Okay, we can't do that. Like here it's fine, here it's fine, here it's not so fine. Okay. You know, maybe you can have it on another frame or on a black frame or something, but you're already saying what it is here, so that needs to be worked on. A nice image. This is nice, maybe difficult on mobile. It's kind of lightweight, but it looks good. This is just a little cluttered. Like I said, main reason is because you're cutting some of this off. Okay. Okay, so we've got a lot of clicking. All right. Here we are going back to that. So I wouldn't necessarily do that. I wouldn't provide this here on a site this size. And I wouldn't send us to another. You have no testimonials here, so take that off because those testimonials aren't there yet. The contact, again, it's just one or the other. Okay, we shouldn't have too many places we have to go to find the same thing. Just one place is fine. Okay, all right, good start. Little tweaking, and you'll be there. All right, this works well. The font is small in places, but I would close this up a little bit. But it's okay at this size. Double check this image. It loaded slowly for me the first time, so work on that. I think you need to work on this. It works here, but not here. So consider, you know, how you want to address that. Bringing it up, maybe a little bit. Okay. But it's a great image. I think if you're going to bring this box all the way up on all the other pages, you want to do it here too. This image loaded a little slowly for me. I think if you're going to have this beside this, then this should be beside this. And maybe this should come over a little. Okay, make sure your fonts are the same for your body copy. And all your headers. I'm not sure that you need more than a picture of you. I don't know what the resolution is for this, but probably just a picture of you. Maybe this one comes up beside it, or at least align it, something. It's not working the way it is. You know, the spacing between everything is different, so just work with that. These look amazing and great. This one, I think you see it needs, these need to be aligned in a grid. Try not to have one word on a line. And these need to have the same size. So if this won't go this big, this one has to come down to this size. All right. Try an ampersand, try an and sign here and see if you like it. Okay. Do try and have the same number of rows. That's helpful. Close up this gap a little so the gaps are equal and make this aligned. Okay. Okay. You could say the why, you know, try and break that down. This may be a little small. You do have a lot of space here. This is a little unnecessary. It doesn't tell us why it's like this. It's possible that, I mean, I understand that you have to make this reach the entire width, but there's something going on here. Okay, so either this comes here, maybe you add another image here, and maybe one here that's has a a lavender, like 30% or more opaque square over the photo, so it kind of drops back and fits and still gets you where what you're trying to do there. Same thing here. These look kind of like they've been, pasted in. The spacing isn't similar. This font looks like it's very tight, that the line spacing could be a little bit more. It's really snug in there. See right here? Okay. This could be a little larger, I think, even if you have to reduce it to make it fit and align with that. You could just say birthdays, weddings, graduation parties, etc. Every event is unique. Okay, these things could go someplace else, like down here, right, in your office hours. So I would put that down here and take this off and just put this, and take this off. Well, you could leave it there, I guess, if you want to say and other things, and just keep that. All right, I like this. Make sure everything works with mobile, that it's not too small. All right, good job. Hey, Jacob. Okay, good. A little hard to read this, but not bad. Okay, seen worse. Hook these up to your professional Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, for example, and YouTube. So we've taken on a different aesthetic here. We've got this screen over here, and you want to make sure that you maintain, I think, these colors. Make sure it's all work that you have photographed. Okay. Don't think you need the bullet here. You do need to cut down. This is too much. You know, 2 paragraphs at most, but there's a lot of scrolling here for the about section. All right. You do say exactly what you do here. Do you say that here? Yes, you do. Okay. Okay, and so this continues your aesthetic pretty much. Okay, try not to have one word on a line. Make sure you use the language tool to check all your writing. Okay. If you could get less scrolling, that would be good. You probably don't need this quite so big, and you definitely need some padding. Left align everything. Okay, take these out, I feel. Okay. All right. So here you've gone all caps, and that works. It looks good. But here, your upper lower. All right. So try and make a decision there. This one is a different size. Okay, but at least get all the others, you know, the same. Okay, you've got the colors here that work with your home page, so that's really good. All right. When you say here, okay, so we have to scroll down to get more. So I would reduce this so that we get into this sooner. Okay, reduce this down to 1 line, maybe maximum 2. Bring it in. All right, great job. Okay, I want to push this, and it takes me down here to interviews. And how do I get back up? We need to have your navigation needs to be frozen. This is your home page. Even if it's a 1 page, we need to have navigation on everything, all right? Let's try not to have 1 word on a line by itself. Okay. Okay, this is narrow, this is different, so try and make that more narrow too. Make sure your spacing is the same throughout, and what you need to do is provide a little context underneath that says what your role was in all of these. You have music videos, but we want to know exactly what. Same here. Okay. You know, ask yourself if you need to have this much space for a header. It requires more scrolling like this. You know, it may be that you're trying to take up a certain amount of space, but I don't think so. I think you could really get all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, these 6 videos, 7 could come up a little higher, and you wouldn't have so much scrolling. Okay. Update this. And make sure we have navigation. That's a biggie. All right? Okay. Good start, though. Okay. Make sure you use video that you've shot for sure. And good that you have this, but let's put that not so much on your about, or maybe you could swap this out. Put this up here with your image and then put these below right here. Okay, in 2 columns. And make sure you use a language tool. I don't know if you need this pill-shaped button. Maybe that you just have the words here. That might work better. Everything else is kind of squared. Update this. Okay. All right, I feel like I've seen that, Aaron, maybe last year. Yeah, that's what I would do. Not so much space here for headers and navigation. Try and reduce that a little bit, and I think by just making those words you can. I hope you shot this. I just never know sometimes. Okay. Think about your aesthetic for everything. All right, so if that means you have a slide with these colors, that is your first image on this Beverly Hills Clean, that's fine. They're going to get into this, but you could have a front image that is works with your aesthetic, simple, something clean and simple. Even a screenshot of something like this could be the front, because you know you can select your thumbnail in YouTube. Okay, so the aesthetic works okay here, but it really doesn't everywhere else. So I think even though it works here, something's going to have to happen to make it consistent. So it's not really working here. Okay, because this really needs a lot of space, and here it doesn't really get it. Things to look at. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing this. You do good work. Okay, make sure that the logo's created in Illustrator, a vector graphic, scalable vector graphic, SVG. Okay. Okay. I wonder, I like this at the top. I'm not sure I like it as we scroll under. I think a little more black. Like, I'm not sure I like it here. It works with black, and that's the thing when you do this parallax and there's an image behind it. It doesn't work with everything, and so it makes it an issue. So think about that. A separation is good. I mean, this, you know, when it's more neutral, but kind of competes with some of these. It's not working as well. It's a little busy back there. Usually these images have to drop back. They have to be really deep and not compete visually. You know, they can't be more in focus than anything else. That's when it causes a problem. All right. So this looks like a one page, and you do have your navigation fixed. Yeah. Okay. Bio is scrolling up, so I'm not sure what that's about. This needs to anchor right here and not down here and scroll up. All right. Yeah, that video is just kind of overtaking everything, and it's taking a little time to load. That's what they do. I mean, I know it's a neat clip, but it doesn't mean it's for every occasion. All right. All right. But I like that you've got work. This works. See, it works with the black and white. It just stops working with some of these other things. All right. All right. Good job. All right. Remember what we say about logos. They need to be reproducible, so created in Illustrator and simple. Keep them very simple. Make sure your images are in focus, your thumbnail. So find, this doesn't look like, looks like an interesting image, you know, if you have it in focus, then take that and put it as your thumbnail. This is working. It's usually hard to read these, but it's okay. I don't know if it's going to read well on your mobile. You may have to enlarge it. Okay. 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 There's some consistency there. Okay. You might be able to bring that up a little to reduce scrolling. Okay. Probably would speed this up as far as the, you know, the fade up, I feel. Okay, this might be a little hard to read. It looks nice, but it may be hard to read. Nice images, but something's happening here. Okay, I know that this is part of the image. The sky is, but you may have to go in and adjust that, do some color correcting, because it looks like empty white space. So this is one of those situations where whatever it looks like is what it is, even though it isn't in reality. Does that make sense? So I would put a little bit of cast of blue, very light up here. Okay, or gray. Cute shot. I love it. I like the whole theme. I think that your logo should be more like PAC or something, and very simple. And we don't have to use film or pictures of cameras, you guys, for logos. See it all the time. It's not necessary to be so literal. Okay, so you could simplify that. And I would take a cue from some of the things that you look at. I mean, even these ears, if you could make it look like a horse, and you could, and it was just right, that could be a fun logo too. So I'm not saying you need to do that. I'm just saying think that way to open up your concepts and ideas. Okay, so this. All right. Okay. All right. I'm glad you have it going to your LinkedIn. Everybody should do that. All right, this needs to be bigger, right? Careful about images, videos on top of other images, especially when this is in focus. Okay. Let's keep your aesthetic of the black and red. And very careful about what's here. And here's another case of what it looks like it is, and that is this doesn't have the black bar where these do, and so it stands out as not being part of the group. So something needs to be adjusted. Okay, possibly a red, the black bar across this. Okay, and this image, I'm not sure, there's just a lot of competition on that page. This is a good one. That image doesn't compete with the logo or the text. Makes it good. This one as well. But again, we're going away from it works. This page works, but we're going away from the black and white and red, just to say. Keep that in mind. So it's a great shot, but this loaded slowly. Think about whether you actually need it. Because if you don't need it, don't include it. It won't be appreciated by users. Okay, like I'm not sure you need this either. All right, all right. All right, great start. That's going to look nice, a little larger. Oh. All right, I like the logo. Can't really read your name, so you might need that beside it and just have the N. This is nice and clear, can read it for sure. Okay, this needs to be optimized so it pops up faster, right? Okay, you can take this off because this is going to be your work. People are students for their entire lives. So you did it, it's your work. I like this. Take that off. And this is good. I hope it's going to your professional site. Good. Okay. Okay. Got a lot of space here. I'm not saying fill it up. I'm saying you may want to think about how this flows. Like maybe this is 2 lines across and this are in 2 columns or such. Yeah. That's interesting. I like it. Make sure you're using the same fonts throughout. I think there's a lot of space here we want to close up. Okay, close this up. Different color here, it seems. I mean, wood color would be good. It's just it's a little bright to match some of your other things. Yeah, this is not as deep as this, so might be that it doesn't need to be. Okay, maybe you get a little more space in here taken out. But I do like it. Okay, it's got a lot of strong potential here. All right, good job. All right, everybody. I'm always happy to see your work. It's all unique and different, And hopefully you looked at everybody's so that you can get ideas of what might or might not work for you. And I look forward to seeing the next iteration. Good luck.